I don't even know how to start this video because I can't comprehend that I'm about to film my 2023 beauty favorites because this year just went like this. Like, what? Also, it's been sun shining outside. It does not feel like winter at all. We're having like a hot week and I don't know how to take this. It doesn't feel like winter. It doesn't feel like Christmas. It doesn't feel like the end of the year. I don't feel 30. I was just looking at this collection of goods and I thought, you know what? This might be my favorite year roundup that I've ever done because more than ever, even though I do say some version of this every year, this is truly a collection of some of my favorite beauty products that I have ever used and tried. And I think that as we go on with YouTube and in this beauty space, our collection is getting smaller and smaller and the favorites are getting smaller and smaller. And we're just rounding it out to this gorgeous collection of incredible products that stand the test of time and work beautifully. And I'm very proud of this little lineup here, my friends, and I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me this year and coming along this fantastic little beauty journey with me. Beauty and life, everything. I don't know, guys. Wow. I drank a coffee. It is the afternoon and I am experiencing an energy spike like you wouldn't believe right now. So if you couldn't already tell, I'm very excited to share this 2023 beauty product roundup with you. Please let me know in the comments down below products that you have been loving, and if you want to take a wild guess, I'm sure that you can imagine which products are going to be in this lineup before we even begin. So let's dive right in. First of all, I wanted to mention the fact that last year's favorites included a lot of primers, and this is something that I've recently decided that hydrating primers I'm kind of removing out of my world, and it was really funny going back and being like, oh, all these lovely little primers and priming things that I have loved in years past. That was really funny. So an entire category kind of erased. Usually I would start with the primers, but really I've just been using my beautiful face creams and release, you know? So going straight to bases. Wow, I'm actually gonna start with this. I'm gonna do two, but the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch. This was such a joy for me. This was truly one of my most used products. This is actually the third tub I have. I used one up completely, then I got a darker shade in the summer, and this is the lighter shade, B20, and I'm almost done this. This is almost an empty, and what a joy. It's actually the base I'm wearing on my face right now. I'm wearing this in my concealer, and I kind of just have different days. You know, I've got my everyday makeup where I'm really just trying to condense and use my face cream and a concealer. I've got that really like light, fresh makeup that I want to do, super, super low coverage. That's where the Chanel comes in. Or I want to use my like full on, I'm doing a full face of makeup foundation. So this has been such a favorite of mine. I actually just saw, oh my God, I just saw Glamzilla, aka Stephanie, do her review on the CoverGirl one, and I'm like, I really gotta get my hands on that and give it a go, see how it compares. But this Chanel base, what a huge favorite, what a delight. I will absolutely happily continue to purchase this and keep it in my makeup rotation. A huge, huge favorite from the year. And then speaking of foundation, this one just really blew my mind this year. This is the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. I have this one in the shade 1.5N. I also use the shade 2N when I have my tanning moments on. But this was a huge wild card for me this year, and it kind of just replaced all other foundation desires that I have, and I wore this on my wedding day. I'm gonna say that a lot, I feel like, throughout this video, but really I felt like my wedding day makeup was like the makeup that I wanted to be the most beautifying. That was like the ultimate makeup look that I could have done in terms of like feeling good in my own skin. And so that was a really good representation of products that work well for me and products that I love and use and would be favorites. So the fact that this just hopped right in there and became an instant favorite and replaced all my other foundations for my wedding day makeup, I think is very telling on how much I love this product. So if I had to pick like my everyday lineup, face cream, tinted sunscreen, these two bases, I could be happy with that and leave it there. They are just also two very luxe little options there, I understand, but wow. The same goes with the concealers. Really, there's a lot of concealers that I use and love in a lot of different price points, but I think that through the Nikki Makeup Masterclass series that we've been doing over the last year, I was so happy that she launched that masterclass, and I was so happy to be creating those videos, kind of reviewing and taking the tips and tricks that we learned from them. As a whole, I think that whole series was such a joy to film over the last year, and just seeing a makeup artist's consistent favorites and products that they reach for all the time is also really helpful and showing in terms of what their favorites are. So the Dior Backstage Concealer definitely became like a hot spot for me. A hot spot, that doesn't make sense. Became a go-to for me. I have the shades 1N and 2N, and this is just kind of my go-to when I'm doing that full face of makeup. This is a beautiful, very reliable concealer. I also really love the tones of these. 1N and 2N are just kind of that perfect neutral undertone, and just looks good no matter what kind of skin day I'm having, and I just continuously reach for this. It is a fail-safe, foolproof concealer, and then paired with any of my bases, it's just gorgeous. So huge, huge favorite from the year. And then obviously the more recent one was the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. This one I have in the shade DTLA. And this is that perfect lighter. Like, I don't know if you can tell. I'm sure this will show up in the camera, but you can see how much lighter the Tower 28 one is. And it's just that perfect shade that I feel like perfectly matches my natural skin tone. And it just feels like nothing on the skin. It really is a serum concealer. It's hydrating, it's beautiful. So just having that option for my everyday makeup, having this for like my more glammed up full coverage makeup, like these two concealers, just all mixed together, has just been so happy. I feel like my makeup has never lasted so well. My makeup has never looked more natural and better than it does now. And obviously skincare plays into that as well. But the base products, I feel like we've really nailed it in and got a great lineup. I'd like to give an honorable mention to the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer because that also had a huge, huge role and was used so much throughout the year, and that will always be a favorite. My NARS concealers are always favorites. These felt like the most favorite from the year. You know what I mean? Moving right along to the contour and the bronzer. This year was the year of the creams. Wow. We just went full train into liquid and cream products this year. And the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. Look at that, guys. It took me an entire year and I can finally say the name of it in one go. But I really embarked on a Project Pan moment this year and just wanted to use this up. I hit pan on this in May. I went back to my beauty favorites from May and I had just hit pan on this. So if it doesn't show you the love that this has gotten from this year, I don't know what will, but I love the tone of this. It's a perfect undertone. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's that perfect mix that I can sculpt and warm up my face all in one. And the formula obviously is a beautiful, like not too creamy, not too serum-y cream. It just blends into the skin and looks so natural. And I plan on just using this, sticking with it until it's all gone. And what a joy this has been. It really does remind me of the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. The formula, the tone is just kind of very similar to me. And once I use this up, I'm definitely going to go back to my little Project Pan moment on that one and use that up too. But obviously like a huge, huge favorite from the year. It's pretty much one of the only products I used all year long, and with good reason because the product is amazing. Now with that being said, I did want to give a shout out to the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wands. Both the contour and the highlight. I didn't really love the blush shade so much, but I think specifically the contour ones, if you're looking for an affordable dupe to any contour or bronzing cream product that exists, like the shades are so beautiful and they're so cool toned that it just makes the perfect contour, but then they also have the nice warm shades. It's a really great mix. Beautiful packaging, so small and perfect for travel as well, and just carrying into your everyday bag. I was really, really happy with this launch from them, and I think they did such a good job, literally just duping the out of any other contour product. So I wanted to give an honorable mention to these because I think e.l.f. in its entirety just makes very accessible, affordable, and beautiful products that work. That sounds like a scripted tagline, I promise you, unsponsored. But just a lot of love for these, and this was a huge, huge launch from them this year. And I hope to see more shades, especially in the blushes. I would love to see like this contour matte formula come out for the blushes. If they could do liquid blushes and dupe all the other ones and come out with beautiful shades, that would be very delightful. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now moving on to highlight. I was going through and I was trying to find a vlog from when I bought this because I was certain that there was a vlog. And I think that this is where my timeline gets really lost because the last couple of years, I know we're all experiencing the post-pandemic like year blub where I just don't remember what is what. But I could have sworn I had a vlog of me going into the Victoria Beckham store in London and buying this. And I'm like, did I not vlog this or did it just not make the vlog? Like I know I filmed it. I know I filmed that moment. But either way, the timeline is lost to me, so I don't know. But I did just want to give a mention to the Victoria Beckham Pearl Highlight because this is a product that I don't talk about a lot. I know I don't mention it as much as I use it in real life. So first of all, little moment for the packaging. Truly couldn't be a more gorgeous package that this is in. Like the gold and the white, yes please. And the color itself, this is actually, can you see the little highlight moment that I've got going on? I often take a little bit of this and just tap it right onto my cheek, and it's not too glittery and shimmery. It's not too wet that it sticks to everything. It's that perfect in-between formula that just looks so good and looks like the most natural dewy highlight. Obviously, this color is perfect for my skin tone in particular, but also just the joy of the packaging. I've talked about this before, but I have such a love for Victoria Beckham Beauty and all her products, and it truly epitomizes luxury to me, where I know I'm spending a little bit more on the product, but the product is going to perform and be beautiful, but you also get that experience of the packaging and the product itself, and sometimes it's just really enjoyable to use things like that. And I just wanted to give some love to this pearl highlight because I actually find myself reaching for it more and more and more, even though I don't necessarily always talk about that. This highlight and I really, truly so much love this year. I also wanted to give an honorable mention to the Dior highlighting palette, the Backstage palette, which I'm having a moment. I feel like I've lost it. I think I've lost it because I couldn't find it anywhere. I wanted to include it. It is literally part of my yearly favorites. Insert picture of the Dior highlighting palette here, please, because huge favorite. Also, what we got from the Nikki Makeup Masterclass series, she really inspired me to bring that back out, and I was like, wow, you know what, you're so right. Like, the Dior highlighting formulas, no matter what, their powder highlights are to die for, but the Backstage palette, I feel like, just gives you a mix for all the seasons and every kind of highlight shade that you're looking for. And yeah, really re-inspired that this year. So huge favorite for a powder highlight. This is my cream highlight favorite, those two living side by side. Will I find my Dior palette? I don't know, but it is gonna be in the last giveaway. So even if I don't have it, one of you will. All right, moving on to blushes. This is always a really tough spot for me because I have a lot of blush favorites. I use a lot of different blushes in terms of colors and the different formulas and whatnot, and a lot of my favorites just continue to go on and on and on. So I don't want to be too repetitive here, but hopefully it will just give you a good glimpse at the products that I really reach for on the daily. First of all, I can't do a favorites video without mentioning my shade Picante with Nude Sticks, because especially this year, if we're talking about yearly favorites, what a year Picante has had, really truly thanks to Sofia Richie. If you guys missed that whole moment, the pop culture phenomenon that was Sofia Richie's wedding and the makeup done by Patty Dubroff, she used Picante and Sunkissed on Sofia Richie for her wedding makeup, and Picante like just finally got the love and recognition that I have always believed as the mother and creator of the shade that she deserves. And it has been such a joy following that makeup moment and just seeing how many people fell in love with Picante. I'm so proud of it, and I always am, and I love this shade, and it's absolutely like my go-to for creating that gorgeous, real summer sunburnt, flush, natural tan, just everything. It gives the most beautiful warm glow on every skin tone, no matter how light or dark your skin is. This will look beautiful on everyone, and I just wanted to say I'm so proud of Picante, so proud of the love that she has gotten this year. Thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting Picante in her journey. Picante, we love you forever. So obviously I have to mention that. It's my blush. But speaking of nude sticks, obviously Bareback, really just rediscovered and loved this blush so much. I've determined that if I had one blush that could encompass my natural skin tone and me in my no makeup natural state, it's Bareback. You have those shades that are like your lips but better shades. This is like my face but better shade. This is just my most natural, perfect go-to neutral pink blush that I've ever found. Again, wedding makeup blush right here. Like, I have Picante as like my summer sun-kissed kind of version of the blush. If I want my natural blush, it's this one, these two, with a couple of extra blushes thrown in obviously, but really these kind of encapsulate my two very different moods and sides, my winter and summer versions of myself. Yeah, Bareback, huge favorite, obviously. Again, wedding makeup blush, it's a favorite for sure. Now my final two blush favorites continue on from last year and just continue to be favorites always, and it's because when you find a good blush and when you find a good formula, it just stays in your makeup bag forever, or at least until they're discontinued. So Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Color of Passions Lip and Cheek Glow. I don't know if I will ever shut up about this, but this is my perfect deeper berry shade for lips and cheeks. I love it endlessly. I have loved it for years. It continues to be my forever favorite, and the packaging, everything. Like, honestly, like, when is this going to expire? I secretly feel like it just never will, and it's going to be perfect forever, and I'm just going to keep using it. But it's one of those things that I feel like I should add this to my project pan. Like, have I ever used up a blush? No, and that's kind of disturbing. That makes me actually a little bit sad. So I'm happy that these blushes continue to be my daily favorites and I want to keep using them, because if not, they're just going to waste, and that's a sad idea. So forever, this Color of Fashion's Lip and Cheek Glow, a favorite. Also, the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer blushes. I have two shades, La Piscine and Provence. Those two continue to be my favorites and continue to be in my daily rotational lineup. There's not many liquid blushes that I love and use on a daily basis. These ones in particular being the matte formula that I'm like, yo, Elf, you could absolutely dupe this. Bring an affordable option to the people. No problem, we're down, because the formula is very much the same and reminiscent of one another. But wow, the juicy natural glow that this gives your cheeks. It's phenomenal and one of my favorite blush formulas ever. Let's talk about powder. Obviously, continuing on from last year, we've got the Givenchy number 3 Prism Libre loose powder. This one just continues to be a wow powder for me and really solidified the fact that we are powder girlies now and we are setting our makeup. And I just love the pink shade of this and how much it brightens and softens underneath the eyes. I feel like it changed my makeup game forever. And then I also want to give an honorable shout out to the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, because I hated on this for years. For years, I was like, why is this a makeup artist favorite? I don't understand. But again, I've had one of those moments where I feel like we've really tackled the skincare and the makeup underneath, and using this in small bits, like all my powders really in very small amounts for those of us with very dry, sensitive, cakey, curdling skin. I've just really learned how to make powder work for me. And again, thanks to Nikki Makeup, we brought this one back out. We gave it another chance and I do really appreciate it. And these two powders just now live in my permanent daily makeup bag. I also have travel sizes of both of them and they come along with me no matter where I go. And yeah, we are powder people. Moving swiftly along to eyes. Now, I was going to include like some of my brown eyeliner favorites, but I feel like I just have so many different product favorites that I use, whether it's the new Lisa Eldridge ones, Victoria Beckham Kajal liners forever, the Wayne Goss liners, the Laura Mercier eye pencils, the Nudestix pencils. Like, they're all so good and I do use them all very much interchangeably, even though they're all the same shade. So I'm just going to skip the eyeliner favorites for the year, and please forgive me. Please do forgive me. But I will mention an eyeshadow palette favorite, because I think that the palette that really ruled the roost for me this year was the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. Always thrilled again that this was a limited edition palette turned permanent palette. And I believe I mentioned this in my December favorites last year, and I was like, oh no, it's limited edition, please bring it back. And lo and behold, they did bring it back. And I find myself really just living in the realms of the matte shades in here, and they just really tickle my soul for my everyday makeup. But then you just have the most gorgeous glitter shimmer eyeshadow toppers on planet Earth in this palette. This middle one, really, I mean these two, but the middle one, chef's kiss, beautiful. I can't get enough of this palette. And even though I'm not the most consistent eyeshadow wearer in the world, this palette is something that I continually reach for and was a huge favorite from this year. Now for mascara, there's so many mascaras that I love, so many mascaras that flip up and out in the rotation, but I think that a huge launch from this year that I loved, used on repeat, and I used both brown and black versions of this. We really embraced the brown mascara this year, was the YSL Lash Clash mascara. So I've got this one in the brown and the black. I'm wearing the brown one today. This is very lifting, very volumizing, but in a non-clumpy way. For comparison, I feel like the Tom Ford Badass black mascara that I just can't believe they discontinued. That's like the ultimate thick volume. This gives that similar effect, but it's just lighter. It's just not as thick. So you're still getting that volume. It's still adding so much thickness to the lashes, but it's fluffy volume. It's very pretty. It's got a big thick wand and I just love it. It became one of my favorite go-to daily mascaras. So really huge love. This is like the winner from the year. If I look back on all the mascara favorites, I was like, yeah, this is the standout for me. Lips is a big category and always a tough one for me to try and narrow it down, but luckily I do think that we had very consistent favorites from this year. One being the Dior Lip Glow Oil, which the formula itself continues to be an always favorite for me, but this year in particular, the shade Rosewood was the shade that tickled my soul. They launched new shades of the blushes and then a corresponding lip oil to go with each. So I had done the campaign when they launched the new shades of the Dior Backstage blushes, which was so exciting. Obviously Rosewood was in there and I love it. It's so beautiful. I do feel like if I was being true to my everyday makeup, I had to go with the cream products because we're just in a cream phase right now, but the Rosewood lip oil to go with it. I just had a panic attack because I was like, cherry. It's called cherry oil, but the shade is Rosewood. I was like, have I been using the wrong shade this whole time? Yeah, the Rosewood. I feel like I'm gonna use this up soon. Like, we have made our way through this lip gloss. It is gorgeous. I find this color very, very unique. And this paired with the original pink lip oil, stunning. Huge, huge favorite from the year. And there's obviously a lot of like affordable lip products that you can try. NYX came out with their fat lip oils. ELF has recently come out with their lip oils. Like, there's so many options. Rosewood, this shade, I feel like is a one of one. I don't know how to explain it, but this Rosewood is something very, very special. And then I want to give a shout out to the Rhode Lip Treatments Peptide Lip Tint. I'm so sorry. This is their Peptide Lip Tint. I mentioned this in my December favorites, but want to give another mention to it again because Ribbon really stole the show for me in terms of a pink lip gloss. I don't know what it is, but this formula, there's something very, very special and different about it. I love the packaging. And this pink is wow, wow, wow. I also want to give a little honorable mention to Toast because they did launch a few shades when they launched these peptide lip tints. Ribbon's #1. Toast is a close #2. It's just like this really muted, soft, light brown. Truly like a toasted beige is a really good way to describe it. But there's something about this glossiness that just lives on your lips and you're like, ah, this is as close as I'll ever get to feeling like I look like Hailey Bieber. Really beautiful. Loved this launch this year. Like, there was a lot of lip tints that came out this year. A lot. These are my favorite. And speaking of continued favorites, let's just give another little shout out to the Victoria Beckham Bitten Lip Tints because this is the lip tint that I'm wearing right now. Obviously underneath what we've now just put on top. But I am ending the year by stating that this is a yearly favorite because much like some of the other favorites in here, things that I don't necessarily mention all the time, but that I wear all the time, even throughout the summer. This is a deeper, more berry toned lip tint, lip stain, Bitten lip tint. Yeah, I wear it all the time. Wear it all the time. And I also can't find my Bisou, and I would like to find my Bisou because it's the deeper one, a little bit more purpley. But cherry, beautiful. Now, do we have this discussion again? Yes, I feel like I have to mention it because my favorite lip pencil from the year was obviously NYX Nude Beige. I've used it to the final nubbin, and you know, if you haven't seen the announcement already, they have in fact discontinued the shade as we know it. The shade that they come out with is no longer the same, so we're gonna have to find another option because this is not the shade that we know and love. It's not what I want. It's too warm and orangey in comparison to the beautiful perfection of the cool toned original, and I now need to find a replacement for this in my everyday makeup because I'm obsessed. I'm addicted to it. Like, I put this on every day and I'm like, oh, this is my lip color. I love it so much, and now I won't have it. I mean, I've got a nubbin left. I'm gonna use it until the final nubbin, but that's also so unfair to you guys who can't get your hands on this shade, and they've all been lied to and duped by NYX. NYX, why? But really, I'm actually sad about this. So yeah, there's an unfavorite from the year. Unfavorite, NYX Nude Beige has been discontinued, and I am devastated about it, as far as you can be devastated about makeup products. I wanted to end this video because wow, we really made our way through that. Those are all the makeup favorites. But with a final note, I wanted to emphasize my love for my face brushes because this year more than ever before, I have really found my face brush favorites. And every time I travel, like every time I pack my travel makeup bag, you know, I have these containers filled with so many different brushes, and I just continually laugh at myself being like, I don't use any of these. These 5 brushes right here are my tried and true daily makeup brushes, and I feel like no matter what makeup products I'm using, if you don't have the right tools to apply them, it kind of doesn't matter. For example, whenever I don't have this brush now, I feel like my concealer and my powder don't blend out the same, no matter what it is. I've just really become dependent on my tools, and if I were to lose these, I would sprint out and purchase them immediately. So we have the Makeup by L'Oreal X Morphe A14 brush. Why they won't sell this separately, I do not know. Dear Morphe, for the 1000th time, please take this out of the set. I will buy 10. The Refer 04 brush. I have multiples of these. It's the only brush that I happily use for blush application, powder or cream. This is the one, the shape, the size, everything. It's perfection. The Smith Cosmetics 157 brush. Mine's disgusting. I need a new one, actually. I've tortured this one to its end, I feel. It just looks like it's barely hanging on, but it's still performing like a dream. 157, this is my my contour and cream bronzer brush exclusively. Then we have the Rephr 05 brush, and this is just my perfect, this is my powder bronzer brush. It's not getting so much love these days, but I still always need it and always have it on hand for when the moment of powder bronzer strikes. Then finally, the IT Cosmetics No. 7 brush. This dual-sided fabulous creature has replaced all of the foundation brushes that have come before it. I use the small side for my cream contour and things on my nose. I don't know what it is, the surface area, the large bristling of it. It's so soft and it just blends your base products like a dream. It is amazing. And to end the year, to you I say, these are my 5 must-have face brushes, and I just felt like that really became clear to me this year, so that's why I'm including it in my yearly roundup of my favorite things from the year. It's getting to that hour where I'm losing my words. You guys, that is my roundup. Those are all of the things that I love this year. Those are my top beauty picks from 2023, and I look forward to seeing what 2024 is gonna bring us. Please do let me know in the comments down below if you guessed. I'm sure you did, but let me know anyway if you guessed any of these right. Do we share any of the same favorites? And if you have different product favorites and things that you think I need to try, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for another fabulous year of makeup, fun, adventure, discovery, and love. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing what my top picks were. And I will see you all tomorrow for a new Landmas video. Bye!